Hi again! This is Women International Master Marie Antoinette Santiago from Girl Chess Power and beyond. And let's learn to play chess with Coach Marie. I hope you came from the first video wherein we learned how to figure out the name of the squares and at the same time the directions of the chessboard. For now, we are going to know about the chess pieces. We have six different chess pieces. We have the king, the queen, the rook, the bishop, the knight, and the pawn. If you have played before, you would know that this is our starting position. So we don't have only six pieces. We have kind of a lot of pieces in the start of the game. We have 32 chess pieces on the chessboard, 16 white pieces, and 16 black pieces. In the starting position, we have two rooks, two knights, two bishops, one king, one queen, and eight pawns. They have their own corresponding squares when we start the game. So you cannot just put your pieces on different parts of the board. They have to start on their own assignments. Now, let's move on with the value of the pieces. What do you mean the value, coach? Well, each piece has their own value or points. Just like they have their own looks, they have their own abilities, and it also determines the importance and power of the pieces because, of course, they have different strengths and weaknesses. Now, let's go with our first piece. We have the pawn. The pawn here is actually considered as the soldiers of the game. As you know, the chess game is actually a battlefield. So you are going to be on the white territory and the black territory. So it's a battle between two kingdoms. And for the kingdoms, of course, we need our soldiers to fight for us. And thus, we have the pawns. The pawns are the soldiers of our game. And the pawn only has 1 point. You can also consider the value as what the piece is worth. For example, if you use dollars, then you can say that the pawn is worth $1. It will come in handy when you trade pieces or you exchange them later on. Mhm. Now, next piece is our knights. Okay, so the knight here looks like a horse, but actually, as I imagine it, I think the knight is a soldier riding a horse. And that is why he has more power than a pawn and he has more points or more value. As you can see, the knight has 3 points. Next one, we have the bishop. The bishop here has the same value as the knight. The bishop also has 3 points. Next one, we have our major officer, the first major officer. We have the rook. The rook, I think, is the castle tower, and it looks like that. Okay? The rook has more points than the bishop and the knight. Why is that so? Well, that just means that he's more powerful and he has more value for trade. The rook here has 5 points. Next is the queen, the crowd favorite. The queen is actually the most powerful piece that we have on a chess game. The queen also has the most number of points or the most value. And I think that goes hand in hand. Because she's the most powerful, that's why she has the most number of points as well. And that also means she has more abilities than the others. Next, this is our last piece, and this is the most important piece on the chess game. If we have the most powerful, which is the queen, we have the most important, which is the king. As you can see, I did not put any number. Why? Well, that's just because the king has no value. That doesn't mean he's not important, but it just means that he's the most important one. We cannot put a value on him. And we cannot trade him anyway, so it's not important to have a value or a point. And as what he said, I am the most important piece, and that means my value is limitless. We cannot put a number on the value of the king. All right, let's do a review. We've got our minor pieces, which is the knight and the bishop. Both of them has 3 points. And then we have our major pieces. So it would be a higher ranking. The first one would be the rook, which has 5 points. And then we have our most powerful piece, the queen, which has 9 points. And then we have our other pieces. The most important one, which is the king. And then our very important also, soldiers, which is the pawn, which has 1 point. Okay, so we have 1 point for the pawn, 3 points for the knight, 3 points for the bishop, 5 points for the rook, and 9 points for the queen. I want you to take a look at this page and remember the numbers that corresponds with the pieces, because later on we're going to play a game. Okay, I hope you're ready. Summary: we have 32 chess pieces on the chessboard. We have 16 white pieces and 16 black pieces. There are 6 kinds of pieces. We have the king, queen, rook, bishop, knight, and the pawn. In the starting position, we have 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, 1 king, 1 queen, and 8 pawns. And of course, each piece has its own value or points. Now, your task is to match the pieces to their corresponding points. Well, I kind of mixed them up, so I hope you remember. Now, pause the video, try to match them up, and see if you're correct. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!